So today I'll give you my 10 practical tips on how you can manage your stress efficiently. But before we start, let's talk a little bit about stress itself. Sometimes stress can happen without a cause, or sometimes it can happen with a cause. And the problem with stress is that one, it makes you unhealthy, and number two, it makes you unproductive as hell. Now, what is this masculine man shit does not work? It is basically the fact that acting like Tate won't work. Now, what do I mean by this? What I mean is, if you are trying to bottle your stress up and you are just thinking that you will cope with it for all your life, it is never going to work. That bubble you are building in yourself, it will burst someday, and then what will happen is weeks of depression. And why I quoted depression is because at that time your work efficiency will be lowest. It might not be equal to genuine depression, but it will be very close to it. It will be a synonym of depression because your work capacity will decrease, your feelings will take over your entire body, and you will not be able to do anything. Why I know this is because I have done that myself and I have experimented on myself. I have tried to bottle all of my stress up and just work like all of those people who tell you about the Tate mindset, but what I found is it is impossible. Now then, with that out of the way, let's head right into the tips. Tip number 1, deep breathing. So it is the most general and most basic advice that you will hear any of the people who talk about stress give. What I generally do is take a 3 to 5 second long inhale and then take a 3 to 5 second long exhale and repeat it 5 times. What you can do is either you can follow this, or if this does not work for you, then you can go on YouTube and search about different deep breathing exercises and follow 1 or 2 tutorials and see what works for you, because it is actually really efficient way of dealing with stress, and also it is a quick one because it will take you about a minute or two to do all of this breathing. Just imagine how much time does 5 repetitions of 5 seconds take? 25 seconds multiplied by 2, then it will be 50 seconds, so roughly a minute. It takes me about a minute to relieve stress, so it's efficient as hell. Now, what does this work for? This works for the little packets of stress you get, that is the short-term stress. There are 2 types of stress, that is chronic and short-term. Short-term means there will be a little packets of stress throughout your entire day, and chronic stress means that that stress will be there for a long period of time. Now let's go to tip number 2, that is meditation. So you already know that meditation is good for you, and I don't need to speak about it too much because you know it's good for you and it is actually good for you. Here I've got tips for 2 categories of people, 1 who actually meditate and 2 who actually don't meditate. So let's start with who already meditate. When you already meditate, then try to do meditation at the time you are feeling stressed. For example, some random shit happened and you are stressed now. Just do meditation at that time. Don't stick to your morning schedule or your evening schedule or your night schedule or whatever it is. Do meditation straight away. Once you feel the stress, go and do meditation. And don't think about your schedule or your time management stuff. And for those of you who don't meditate, start doing it with progressive overload. What is progressive overload? Progressive overload is basically increasing the pressure bit by bit and progressing. That is, let's say you don't meditate at all. Today you can try meditating for 30 seconds. Each and every person in the world is capable of doing 30 seconds of meditation. Come on, you don't have any excuse. Or if you can't even do 30 seconds, then do 15 seconds. So after 15 seconds, next day you might do 30 seconds, then a minute, then 2 minutes. Gradually increase that time and go to 10 or 15 minutes of meditation daily. This is the same techniques that the students use to increase their study time. For example, first day they might study for 30 minutes, the next day 1 hour, the next day 1.5 hours. Similarly, you can use this to build your meditation. Now let's get on to tip number 3. That is physical activity. So there are 3 things in physical activities, that is take a little walk, stretch or yoga, and light workout. Now don't do full on workout of 1 or 2 hours. That will be too much overkill, but do a light workout, or else you can do stretching. You can follow a stress relieving stretching or yoga guide on YouTube. It will be about 10 or 20 minutes long. But what I personally recommend and what works best for me is taking a walk, going into nature, and all of this will be coming up in next points. But either you take walk inside your house or outside your house, it does not matter. Just get up from that chair and walk. Now let's get on to tip number 4. That is nature therapy. As I said, connect with nature. Scenery or river viewing, get out of your house. What does connecting with nature mean? Connecting with nature means going into nature and just experiencing nature firsthand. Scenery and river viewing is what works for me because we have a river nearby, and so river viewing is quite nice and quite calming for me. Similarly, mountain viewing is also an experience that gives me a sense of calmness, so you can definitely try one or both of them. to see which one works for you, or your scenery might be a totally different thing. But the base concept you need to understand is get the hell out of your house and get the hell out of your chair. That is the main problem. The simple reason it works is because our ancestors did not spend their entire day sitting on chairs. Technology might have skyrocketed, but our biological composition is roughly the same as about people who lived about 100 or 200 or even thousands of years ago. That is why they were connected to nature, and hence we should also be connected to nature, because humans have evolved in and around nature. And nowadays, due to the technologies and all, people are spending less and less time in nature and all of this. And the simple analogy is this: most people don't spend time in nature, most people are depressed. People who spend time in nature, they are not depressed. Simple as that. Now let's get on to tip number 5. Tip number 5 is journaling, and it will help you to understand what the cause of your stress is. Sometimes there are stresses which don't seem to have a cause and you are just stressed about nothing. But once you write down the causes of your stress, you will be able to understand that what that stress is coming for. Sometimes I have wrote silly shit down like, I am stressed because Premiere Pro is crashing. Now that is not a reason to be stressed, right? So once you journal what your stress is about, you will understand the true cause of it. Other times when the stress is actually legit, once you write it down on paper, you are physically putting it out of yourself and onto a piece of paper. So you will be able to see it with better logic, and you will be able to apply rationalization to the problem and hence understand what are the steps that you can take currently to minimize the stress. Another thing to keep in mind while journaling is don't be an editor. What does an editor do? An editor edits the already written text. That means an editor is kind of sort of a perfectionist. Don't be a perfectionist while writing your journal. Just write whatever you want to write. No formats, no grammar, nothing. Just whatever you want to write. Another thing with stress handling that just popped into my mind, that is memento mori. That is the exercise that Stoics use to remind themselves that death is approaching and one day you will no longer be there. So once you apply that technique on yourself, you will soon understand that most of the times the stress you are facing isn't relevant. What I think personally is, if I am on my deathbed and if I ask the question, I am feeling stressed about XYZ, what can I do, to my future version who is on his deathbed, what would he reply? Or will it be relevant enough to ask him? This is a powerful exercise to vanish your stress in just a moment, and if nothing else works, this will work. Tip 6 is a fun one, that is music. Now I will not tell you specifically that you have to listen to 40 Hz, 80 Hz or 120 Hz or Mozart or something like that. What I will tell you is it depends on your vibe. If you are someone who likes nature sounds, for example sound of waves, sound of wind, etc, etc, you can listen to that. If you are someone who likes instrumental music, you can listen to that. You can even listen to your own playlist or your favorite song or whatever you like. There are no restrictions and you can enjoy as much as you want, because music has that weird charming effect that just takes all of your stress away at once. Now don't just sit there listening music for 8 hours straight. After your stress is relieved, stop listening to music and get to work. Now tip number 7 is food. So I will now tell you the most underrated hack of reducing stress, that is drinking water and staying hydrated. It's because we as living beings need water to survive, and if you are having deficiency of water in yourself, it is a huge problem. So stay hydrated. I sound like the advertisement of some water brand, never mind. The second tip is avoid too much caffeine, which is an obvious one because caffeine increases blood pressure and all of these things to make you more energized, and sometimes that gives you stress. Number 3, avoid sugar and cut it out fully if it is possible, because it has a zillion health benefits and I spoke about most of them and my personal journey of quitting sugar in this video, which will be coming up, or it is here maybe. Just go and watch it, you will understand. Now going on to tip number 8, we have connecting, which is basically socializing. Never mind, I went overboard. So basically humans are social creatures. From the dawn of human time, we have been living in tribes and groups of people, and social cooperation and social connectivity has been the most important aspect why we were alive for so long. But what creature are we nowadays? Nowadays we are stuck to chair creature. What I mean to say is, go out, talk to people, talk to family, talk to friends, just talk. it might not be even about stress or anything else. You can talk about your favorite topic with your friends or something like that, but it will relieve your stress. Now don't talk to people who will give you stress, just keep that in mind. And another weird tip that I will give you is playing with kids actually helps a lot, because kids are innocent and they don't have all of the stress in the whole world to be thinking about the real world, because they are busy in their own world. So you can just talk to them, you can just play with them, and it gives you a lot of, I don't know, happy endorphins or oxytocins, something like that. Now of course don't go and start playing with arrogant kids, because they are the worst category. But moving on, tip number 9, that is dopamine. The first thing you have to do is limit your screen time, and what I personally recommend is about half of your total screen time currently. If you are someone who has a screen time of 4 to 8 hours, consider lowering it to 2 to 3 hours. Now if you are someone who already has a very efficient screen time and your maximum screen time is 2 hours, then of course it is fine. But if you're someone who does not have that restriction placed upon himself that I should use social media less, I should use different apps less, I should consume content less, then consider dopamine detox. It's basically a period of time when you don't watch any content, you don't consume anything basically, and you just produce results. Dopamine detox stands for dopamine detoxification, which means sorting out and filtering all of the toxic dopamines and keeping the good ones. Good dopamine, for example, are reading, working out, etc., etc., whereas bad dopamine is something like reels, consuming random content on YouTube, playing games, etc. And reduce social media exposure. That is basically dopamine detox. Now let's get on to tip number 10, hobbies. Do what you like, and it is a very nice contributor to relieving stress. For example, I have friends who draw to relieve their stress. I personally read to relieve my stress. Sometimes I even sing loudly. When you do what you like, you automatically get into the flow state of tasks. That is the state where everything feels effortless and time just seems to pass through. That is a great reliever of stress because you don't have to worry about anything. Now these are the following things that I do, and don't judge me. Number 1, playing chess. Online chess stresses you out like anything. For example, chess.com or Lichess. Those stress you out a lot because you are playing with a stranger and there's a time limit and all of this. Offline chess, for example, if you have a board at your home, which I have, and I play with a friend, that relieves stress a lot because it is 2 in 1. One is playing chess, that is doing my hobby, and number 2 is connecting with a friend, that is socializing. So it helps a lot. Sometimes even I play chess with myself, solving mathematics. Now alright, I admit I'm a nerd. Yeah, I do solve mathematics to relieve my stress, and sometimes mathematics gives me stress, and that stress is enough to counteract the other stress. That apart, I also read light novels or sometimes non-fiction books like self-help books. And congratulations, because you have the toolkit for managing your stress efficiently. As I wrote while I was making the PPT, you will give stress to your stress for not being able to stress you out. It's kinda like a tongue twister. So now what I recommend is you try 1, you try 2, or you try 3, or you try all the methods that I told you and find your sweet spot. Once again, I will tell you that masculine man stuff does not work, and it will only result in you just bottling up the stress, and once that bottle crashes, you will feel stressed and you will feel anxious all of the time for a long period of time, and it will take so much longer and so much more time to get over that feeling. So it is not productive at all. Now if you are someone who feels like nobody is telling you the secret, then go and click this one, or else if you type really slowly, then go and click this one to find out why speed typing matters. Because I am someone who types at 110 words per minute and I get shit done pretty quickly. That was it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Start if you haven't already.